of all, we just wanted to congratulate to win the Rise Insight Literary Award, and our Nine of Rivers gives you the positive response. After that, you become as a winner of the Rise Insight Literary Award. Actually, it's a very complex process. Like our Nine of Rivers, one of Rivers is not living in India. He is living in USA, and these all the authors or judges read the book. After reading the book, they feels like the book is very good, the content is very fine as per your age, and that's why we chosen you as a winner of the Rise Inside Literary Award. So first of all, we have some questions regarding your book, like why you written this book, and we also wanted to know about yourself as well. What is your personal journey? How, what is inspires to write this book?
Okay, so to start with, why I wrote this book, it's basically rooted from my childhood. Since I was a kid, I was always in love with the fantasy and the adventure genre in general, and I always was searching for a book which had, some a bit of fantasy, some adventure, some mystery, some thriller, and I never found that one book which had it all. And then I just saw that, if I didn't find such a book, maybe I could write such a book. And my parents really encouraged me. They were like, you should do it, because I always used to love writing since I was a kid. So I just started writing it, and it turned into a novel. As for my journey as a writer, I started writing when I was 5. I actually wrote a poem when I was 5. And that's when I really knew that, I can write, and this is something that I really like to do. And some of my earliest memories used to be, when I was 3, I used to be in the car and my mom used to play nursery rhymes. She used to read me bedtime stories every night. And it became like books and words became a very integral part of my childhood. And every time I would write, I would be reminded of all of those memories. And that nostalgia is amazing. So when I finally started writing this book, I knew that this was something that I definitely could do, and I totally realized that this is one place where I really want to believe in myself. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. So we will take a question step by step. We wanted to know everything about the book so that readers inspired to buy your book. Okay.
Yeah.
So our first question is like, once we just buy the book, we saw the front cover. Okay, and front cover itself creates a lot of curiosity. Okay, suspense regarding the book. Like there are three persons. First one is the lady, and there are two ladies, and one is the man. Okay, and the title of the book is also very generates a curiosity. So first of all, you tell something about title. Why you choose this title?
So the story behind the title is a bit funny, but like I remember once I just had this vision, like a sort of thing in my mind just popped out saying "Huntress of the Gloom, Lost Lands of Elysia,"
Yeah.
out of nowhere. And I think that that's exactly where I began writing the story. Like I usually, when I write a story, I usually start with the title first, because that's usually the hardest part for me as a writer. So I just got that all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay, I like this. This is curious. This is nice.
Okay. So you choose firstly you choose the title, then you write a book, or you firstly write the whole book, then after that you choose the title.
So I have tried both ways, to be honest. When I was a kid, I tried writing the entire manuscript and then trying to choose a title. And I can tell you that for me, it's very difficult, because when I write a book, there are so many elements I'm incorporating. The plot is not always straightforward, and there are a lot of intricacies. So to pick that one part where I would like put it in the title, that's hard for me. But when I write the title first, I think that it also gives me a bit of a background about how I want my book to go, and it's sort of the one thing that hooks the reader as well as me as a writer. So if the title is nice, I would keep on going, because I know that this has some potential.
Okay, so from our team feedback, the title is really good and it generates a curiosity to read the whole book. And then also the characters you have put it in on the cover. Okay, so explain something about like the characters.
Okay, so there are three characters. One is Jane Doyle, one is Jace Macmillan, and the third one is Olivia Adams. So all of these three are kind of based on fictional characters, real people. And starting with Olivia Adams, who is the main character, I based her on basically, people who just think that, I'm clumsy, I'm not good enough, and yet they find themselves, with a very big friend circle. The kind of people who just think that, okay, I can't do this, I'm not courageous enough, I'm not good enough. And yet they are really kind and really loyal to their friends. I based her on those kind of people because I believe that they are really underrated in this age. You usually find books where the central character is gonna be amazing, heroic, but she actually has a lot of personal development throughout the story. And she starts with a kid just like all of us. Next is Jean Doyle. I based her on myself, and she's smart. She's a bookworm, and she's the kind of person who doesn't always open up to people. Who's not always, the popular kid. She's always into herself. She's into books. She finds solace in learning information, and I think that's one of the major inspirations because these are the kind of characters that are usually overlooked. I mean, like there are the characters like Hermione Granger and Annabeth Chase. All of these characters really sort of reach out to people like me, and I think that that makes her very relatable. And the last one is Chase Macmillan. The one thing I really liked about while writing Chase was that he is charming, he is smart, he has everything in place, but that's just how the world looks at it. When you actually get to know him, you realize that he's full of vulnerabilities, his inner demons, his inner monsters that keep haunting him, that keep telling him that he is not good enough. And the book is about like how he kind of starts getting over that. He shows himself to be a kind of guy who is just really nonchalant about things, but actually everything matters to him, and he's really loyal to the people around him, and he would just not let go of them despite whatever happens. So I just wanted to bring that forth because those are the kind of ideas that are usually overlooked in usual novels. Like you don't find a male character who is amazing and perfect up front, but deep down they're just broken apart. So yeah.
Yeah, that's you explain the situations and the characters really well. And then after that, once we come into the pages of the book, okay, then we feels like the you write the content with the emotions, and you always have something in mind while you are writing the book or explaining the story. So we also wanted to know something about your personal journey which inspires to you to write a book. Are you like a imaginative people like who is living in imagination, or something that else inspire you to write this book? Okay, so tell me something about that.
Okay, so as a reader, just to start with that, I really look for emotion in the book. When a book is really raw, I think that I can really relate to it better. I can relate to the characters, they are more three dimensional to me. And this is not the first book I wrote, this is definitely the first book I published. But while writing the book, I just wanted this to be really good because this was one of the first times I actually based characters on the people around me, the people I loved. And I really wanted it to be perfect. I didn't want it to mess it up. I wanted the writing to be slow and raw and sometimes even funny. And the situations that I built up, like the situations where characters are taking risks and sometimes they're getting into trouble, and the way sometimes they're just turned upon, it's kind of like a metaphor to human life. Because I think that all of us at some point of time, minus the magic, have faced points where you are betrayed or you just feel like you're alone, you're helpless. And so many times those characters actually reach out to you. And I believe that the kind of time where you get into trouble, you are at a crossroad and you don't know what decision to make. I think that those risks that you take at that point of time, those are the kind of risks I actually incorporated into the novel, but I made it more fictitious. But that was my intention.
That's great. So, once you read the book, once you write the book, after that, there is a part of publishing. Okay, so like many of the authors has written their book. After that, they cannot able to find a good publisher. Okay, so publishing is also a very crucial part in the stage of writing a book or become as an author. Okay, if you cannot able to find a good publisher or a good marketing agency, then they cannot able to reach with your right audience. Okay, so once you written a book at this such a little age, okay, then how you find the good publisher who publish your book?
So I did have a few publishers in mind, and I was just going through the website and everything, and I came across Notion Press. I came across their package and everything they offer, and I realized that it just felt right when I read through it. It just felt like this is the one for this book. And I think I kind of went with a gut feeling back there because it just felt like this was the perfect fit for my book. I went through the covers they designed, the books they published, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is the one I want to go for.
Oh, okay, that's great. So, so the cover has been created by yourself or the publisher created this cover?
So I did design two of the characters. That's like the two of the characters of the opposite ends, the boy and one of the girl. The central one is designed by the publisher, and the layout and the fonts and all of that is done by the publisher itself. The only thing was that the two characters there, I wanted them to look in a very particular way. And to get that, I just thought that, I'll just try designing it a bit and if they could incorporate it. And they were really cooperative with that.
Okay, that's great. So, so the book is designed in a chapters, like there are certain chapters, yeah, or you just written a continuous.
So there are chapters while writing. Also, I like to chapterize the book while writing it because it just I like to leave chapters on a hook. It's like every chapter has to end on a cliffhanger, which makes the reader want to move to the next chapter. That's the way I like to write it.
Okay, that's it. So the once our all nine reviewers read the book, after that they giving a feedback. Once they start reading the book, they feels like you create everything or you written everything with the emotions, and while they are reading the book, they feel in their mind, like they imagine the scenario or the scenes that you have really portrait very well. So this is a very good point in the book. And then also that once we finish the book, okay, so you finish at a cliffhanger. Okay, and so this is a very generate a curiosity about your next books as well. So can we imagine like there are new parts, or this is just one book of your series, or you are going to put new books in the series as well?
There are gonna be more books in the series. It's mostly just gonna be one more book. And the reason why I left it on the cliffhanger was because, I just find that, putting Olivia Adams, spoiler alert, sorry, but putting Olivia Adams back to the world of dust was probably my way of saying that, sometimes you need to look at life without magic. And that's the world we live in. And it's just to show them that in the new book, I'm trying to show that even in this world, there is magic, and probably we just don't see it. And I want to show that, even when you're thrown out of your comfort zone, you need to get over it. You need to learn how to live through it because whenever you're comfortable, life is gonna throw you off guard. So that was just a bit of an inspiration.
Okay, that's great. So this is this story also related to your like a real journey, or you just put it everything is in a fiction?
So I can say that the story is fiction, but the inspiration or like the bigger picture is not fiction. Like most parts of the story are metaphors. Like the way Jean and Olivia met. Jean was the quiet kid, and she was in a corner. She was with her own self, and Olivia just walks up to her, and she becomes friends with her. That is based on my personal life, and there are so many small incidents that I would probably say are rooted from personal life, but I just added a bit of a magical touch to it to go with the genre. But yeah, it's some parts of it are real.
That's great. So, like, once you complete the book, after that, after the publishing of the book, there is also one more important thing like a marketing. Okay, so marketing part is also very complex, and many of the authors cannot able to market the book in a right way. Okay, but you have chosen the great way to promote your book. So at this age, how you explain about your marketing journey with the agencies, or with the Instagram or social media handle, like how you market the book on these platforms?
So the first thing I did when my book was out was that I started messaging all of my friends saying that, hi, I just published a book. And there were so many people who were just like, oh my god, we told you to do that. There were so many people who have read some of my stories before, and they were the first ones to actually buy it. Like the first one was my mom and then my best friend. But after that, I just watched all of them buy it and I was really happy. And after doing that, my next step was that I put up Instagram stories on my personal account and my professional account. I encouraged people to buy the book. I told them stuff about it. And I know that, these days people are really into fantasy, adventure, young adult books. So I told my friends that, this is why you should read it. Like people the book was inspired from, I told all of them that, you will find yourself in here. And I just try to reach out to my followers, and I think that other authors should do the same. And I did make a reel or two about it. And after that, I did try, like, putting my book out. Like, I contacted the Rise Inside, I tried nominating my book for the award, and I became a winner. So I think that that's a really good way that you should just try nominating it. It's fine if you win or don't win, but if you win, it's gonna be an amazing feather in your cap, and it's actually gonna be like a reason why people actually go out and buy your book because they're like, oh, that's great. Another thing I did was that I asked some of my friends to put a review on Amazon because that really helps. Because when I'm personally buying a book, I would read the blurb, but another thing I would read is also the reviews. While that might not be the first thing or the deciding factor, it's definitely a part of it.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like you have said that the Amazon reviews are a very important part in the book. Am I right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, we also wanted to know about like when the next book are going to be released, and like how much time we need to wait for that.
So the next book is in progress. I have planned the entire book out. I'm probably like halfway through it, and you could expect it by next year or max to max the year after because I am right now I'm in 11th grade. My exams are going on, and 12th grade is going to be full of applications. But I'm gonna try my best to complete it, edit it, and usually the editing is the process that takes the longest time because I'm just like looking at it very critically. And after that, I would definitely give it for publishing.
Okay. So, I think you take a lot of time to write the next book, and I think readers will definitely wait for that. And you did a way cliffhanger, and you used with very cleverly. Okay, so that's why uh, regarding to the cliffhanger, that's why the readers are going to wait for your next book as well. So, is this will be going to be a like a trilogy, or you are going to publish more than 5 to 6 books in this series?
This series is gonna be a duology because I think that there's a point of time where you need to like let your character go and develop it on their own. But you never know. Like in the future, I might just think that okay, I might use these characters for a new series, you know, a new adventure of theirs. But for now, I think that I wanna mature them. I want them to develop personally, become better people, and then I think I'm just gonna let them settle for some time while I work with some other characters.
Okay, so like in this book, can you just briefly explain about the whole story, like how the story has been started, okay, and what is the climax of the story, and at the end, what you wanted to explain about the world or about the imagination of yourself. Okay, so explain the story, but don't give spoilers. Okay, so without spoiler free, you explain about your whole book.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so it starts with two friends, Olivia and Jane. So, but that's like from chapter one. In the prologue, I'm describing this sinister character, one of your typical villains, you know, with your blood red lips, jet black hair, and you know, she's just going and she's doing some dark magic, and she suddenly turns younger, and that was kind of Tangled inspired because that's what the witch used to do there. And after that, I jumped right into the beginning, and there I basically describe Olivia Adams as a person, and I describe one of her worst memories, like her worst childhood memories. So she's basically living in a fictional world called Elysia, and I basically call the entire world the world of Fortis, and Fortis is basically like a term for brave. So the history behind this is kind of like, you know, people from the dust world, that is us. Those people who have died a brave life are they are reborn into this world of Fortis. And in Fortis, what happens is that Olivia Adams is there and she's struggling with exams, and that's when she relives her worst memory. So that's basically when she was a kid, and there was a group of people who were causing a stampede in her city, in her town, and that basically forced people out. They all thought it to be the marshlanders, which are the outcasts, the kind of people who are very violent, and they're gonna just break everything and ruin everything because they are enemies of the Elysians. So because of that, all of them are forced out of their places, and somehow Olivia gets separated from her parents. Now I kept that part on a cliffhanger in the first chapter because there's some sort of a memory block with her, which is
Okay.
something that I think most of us also have in our lives. Like, you know, there's gonna be a particular event and you just try to remember it and you don't know how it happened. So that was kind of inspired by my own life.
Okay.
And after that, Olivia receives this one vial. Okay, the vial tells her that, you know, if you drink me, then your life is gonna be basically amazing. There's an entire poem written about that, and that was kind of based on Alice in the Wonderland, and it was kind of inspired by the fact that, you know, sometimes you just bribed by something, you know, just do this and it's gonna be perfect, and she drinks it, and then suddenly it disappears. And then in the next chapter, I like introduced Jane, and Jane is basically Olivia's best friend, and she's the smartest kid in town. And they go on this little adventure where they get into a Betwixt hole. So a Betwixt hole is basically something that helps you transport from one place to another, but there is no change in time. So even if I go from here to, let's say, Paris, I
Okay.
could return here at the same exact moment.
Yeah, so just kind
So
of the multiverse.
yes, that's kind of like a multiverse. It was Spider-Man inspired. And after that, they explore the Betwixt, and Jane, being Jane, drags her into a library. After that, they get into the city of fear where we get to know their worst fears. And for Jean, it's basically failing. So, ahead in the book, I have connected this by the fact that Jean has failed to meet the expectations of the people around her. And you know how she's just living with that fear. So, I think that's really important to combat your fear. So, that's why I included that. And after that, what happens is that basically Olivia and Jean, they graduate, and something happens at the graduation
Hmm.
that causes them to drift apart. I don't want to give much away, but it causes them to drift apart so bad that Olivia has to come behind her. They become fugitives in the land they are living in. And turns out that they are forced to leave that place and enter the world of dust, which is our world.
Okay.
So in our
So
world,
yeah.
they go through several adventures.
Yeah, I have a question
Yeah,
actually. So there are two words. First is the photos, and a second one is dust.
yeah,
And dust is related to our world, and the photos is just a parallel world where Olivia is living. Am I right?
yeah.
Yeah. So how these worlds are interconnected with each other?
So it's not really like a parallel world. It's more of like, the world of dust. Like there was this reference I think I read somewhere online that all humans are made of dust.
Hmm.
So everyone in the dust world, for everyone is first born in the dust world.
Hmm.
Then when they die, the people who are the bravest
Hmm.
and the best, those who have just like lived their life being great people, they all are reborn in this world of fortress,
Hmm.
and some of them are also gifted with magic, and that's very rare. It's getting down as
Okay.
the generations go by.
Okay. So some of the persons have some powers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then how you connected this world, like what things has been happening in photos, and what the things has been happening in uh, dust world.
So it's like two different places altogether. While people can move from fortress to the dust world,
Hmm.
people can't move from the dust world to fortress without dying and having a grave death.
Okay.
And I connected the events of both of these worlds by doing that. Fortress was a bit back in technology,
Hmm.
except a few particular places of Fortis. But otherwise, they're really back. And as for the world of Dust, they don't have any touch with Fortis, so they don't know much about it.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is a very great explanation about the book, and actually this also creates a lot of curiosity to read your book. Like once there are some curiosity after watching this podcast, how the readers buy your book. Like what is the process to buy the book?
Okay, so the readers can just go on Amazon and look up my name, Jiya Doshi,
Hmm.
and they'll find the book there, and they can purchase it by Amazon, Kindle, whatever. They also can find it on different websites like Barnes and Noble, Indigo, Flipkart. It's basically all over the book websites, so they can check it out.
Okay, that's great. So the book has been available in Amazon, Flipkart, Branch Nobles, and in internationally as well as in India. So bought the paperback in an ebook version. So
Yeah,
if anyone wanted to buy the book, they search the name of the author or name of the title, then they can easily buy the book. Am I right?
yeah.
Yeah. So like once they complete reading the book, readers always feel that if possible they can directly connect with the author as well. Okay, because they have a lot of curiosity in their mind. Also you did a great attempt to just break the book in a cliffhanger. Okay, so after that they also feels like they creates some their imaginative journey for the next book. Okay, so for the suggestions and the feedbacks, if they wanted to connect with you, so how they can directly connect with you?
So they can shoot me a message on my Instagram ID. It's wings of words underscore Gia.
Hmm.
Or they can also shoot me an email on giahdoshi@gmail.com.
Okay, that's great. So this is the two way to connect with you directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so any last words you wanted to tell us about your readers, that why they read the book and why they should buy the book?
So I just want to say that if they are a fantasy lover, adventure lover, mystery lover, they should definitely buy the book. And if at any point of time they felt insecure, they felt like they did not belong somewhere, they felt like, okay, I have just been betrayed, or I am confused, if they've ever been indecisive or stuck at a labyrinth, or they've ever taken a risk without knowing what's gonna happen, or they're just into reading and they just enjoy reading it, and or if they also like, really emotive, they also really appreciate people just showing their emotions, I think they should definitely read it, because I think that I, as a writer, I have developed alongside my characters as well. And I think that as a reader also, there will be so many people who will actually look at the characters and they will grow personally and they'll learn from them.
Okay, so this is a great explanation, and so we just wanted to give you the final feedback from our the Rise Inside team. Like, the content of the book is very good, and the cover, the title of the book, you created the content with the emotion. There is a very blend of fantasy, fictional, and a real life as well. You related to you in the book very well. Okay, and even this is a real character or a fictional characters, you did explain everything very well. So that's why we chosen you as a winner of the Rise Insight Literary Award. And then after that, this podcast, the readers also feels like there are some questions. So if we are getting some positive feedback, we absolutely invite you to do one more podcast where we are going to discuss about your new book as well.
Yes, it would be great.
Yeah, so whenever your book will be going to release, like next book, we are definitely wanted to you will be in our podcast, so that we know more about your book and about your imagination. And you did a great job in the book at this age, and so congratulations for that.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me.
Yeah, that's a great. So this is the end of the podcast. We will definitely meet again, where we will discuss more about your book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.